The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya recently closed for a secret test that many predicted would not happen this soon. Audi's first Formula One car is finally on the track. The scene at Barcelona contradicted months of rumors claiming Ingolstadt was behind schedule and the Newburgh power unit program was failing. On January 9th, the garage doors at Montmello opened, and the R26 rolled out as Audi's first true factory machine, built to the new 2026 regulations. This test defied expectations because the Sauber team Audi absorbed had 0 points in 2024 and endured a painful transition in 2025. Critics called the team a graveyard for careers, yet the team is putting miles on the actual race car 4 days before their official Berlin launch. Mattia Binotto has been ruthless in fixing the organization by replacing the old management and installing Jonathan Wheatley from Red Bull as team principal. He also secured a large financial investment from Qatar to fund this aggressive corporate gamble. The car represents a test of whether a corporate giant can survive. Leaked footage from Barcelona shows the R26 running a setup different from early FIA simulation models, despite the team's efforts to keep cameras away. The car features a distinct shark fin engine cover to stabilize airflow to the rear wing under the new active aero rules. Nico Hülkenberg took the first shift, and the onboard audio reveals a power unit note much throatier than the 2025 hybrids. This filming day was capped at 200 kilometers rather than raw speed, but the calm body language in the garage was significant. Mechanics worked steadily, and the car returned successfully to the pit lane without breaking down. Completing a full run program on day one counters the rumors of reliability crises for a manufacturer building an engine from scratch. Rumors out of Italy last October suggested Audi was 31 horsepower down on Mercedes and Ferrari, which represents a significant gap in F1. Sources close to the Newburgh facility suggest those numbers came from an outdated prototype early in 2025. The Spec 1B power unit in the R26 features a heavily revised architecture that resolved the thermal efficiency issues seen on the dyno last summer. Jonathan Wheatley stated they are firing on schedule, and the lack of visible smoke in Barcelona supports his claim. Being within 10 horsepower of the frontrunners would give the chassis team a fighting chance. The panic about a Honda 2015 situation seems premature, though the true pace deficit will only appear during the Bahrain tests next month. Subscribe and enable notifications to receive breaking F1 stories every week. The technical details reveal more surprises. Photos from Turn 3 show the R26 running with a higher rear ride height than anything seen in the ground effect era. The 2026 regulations reduced reliance on underfloor tunnels, so Audi's aero department in Hinwil likely reverted to a high-rake philosophy, similar to the 2021 Red Bulls. This risky choice changes the center of gravity and mechanical grip, but generates high downforce at low speeds, if successful. Binotto appears to be trusting his old Ferrari instincts by building a drivable car, rather than chasing peak wind tunnel numbers. The aggressive suspension geometry features double push rods front and rear to maximize the air channel to the diffuser. They are pursuing their own design philosophy rather than copying the field. The Qatar Investment Authority bought a 30% stake in the team in November 2024. That cash injection paid off debts and funded the rapid expansion of the Hinwil factory to make this car possible. Volkswagen's financial struggles previously threatened the project, but the team now operates a facility rivaling Aston Martin's Silverstone campus. The investment allowed them to hire nearly 50 senior engineers from Mercedes and Red Bull over the last year. The R26 combines Audi engineering with significant external funding and recruited talent. The car's high finish quality, with tight panel gaps and complex carbon weaves, reflects that capital investment. The cockpit dynamic matches the intensity of the engineering challenge. Nico Hülkenberg is a 37-year-old veteran, finally receiving a works drive, while Gabriel Bortoleto is a 21-year-old talent who advanced quickly through F3 and F2. Bortoleto's simulator lap times reportedly match Hülkenberg's, within a tenth, which is rare for a rookie. They split the driving duties evenly during the Barcelona filming day because Audi treats Bortoleto as a future franchise star rather than a number 2 driver. This approach places pressure on Hülkenberg, who was hired to be the steady hand. If Bortoleto is faster immediately, the team hierarchy could struggle before the first race in Melbourne. Binotto's history with managing driver rivalries raises questions about how he will handle this pairing. The internet contained numerous AI-generated leaks of the Audi car before the real images appeared. Some were convincing enough that major news outlets reported them as fact, which caused confusion about the side pod design. The team had to clarify which spy shots were real after fake renders showed a zero-pod Mercedes concept. This confusion may have helped Audi keep their true aero secrets hidden. The real car features wide, sloping side pods that channel air specifically towards the beam wing, which none of the AI fakes predicted. This strategy ensured rivals were analyzing incorrect data until the R26 actually hit the track. This car represents a major test for Mattia Binotto's reputation. He accepted this role after leaving Ferrari to prove he could build a championship contender outside Maranello. He spent the last year describing 2026 as a learning year to lower expectations, but the scale of this launch suggests otherwise. The Audi board remains skeptical about F1 and might question his leadership if the R26 performs poorly. Scoring points in the first 3 races would validate his ability to lead the team. The Barcelona test indicates the car is reliable, which is a major step for a new manufacturer, leaving only the question. Rivals are closely observing Audi's progress. Christian Horner downplayed Audi's threat during the Detroit launch, but Red Bull insiders admit concern about the engine talent Audi recruited. Mercedes faces their own engine questions, and the arrival of another German giant on the grid changes the political environment. A strong engine would make Audi an immediate threat to McLaren and Alpine. Rival teams will analyze the limited GPS data from Barcelona for corner speeds and drag numbers. The lack of criticism from other teams is notable. Rivals typically mock a new entrant's struggles, but Toto Wolff's silence suggests the test data might be stronger than anticipated. The Barcelona test suggests the 2026 season will not be an easy victory for the established giants. New manufacturers typically take 3 years to become competitive, as seen with Honda and Renault. Audi appears to have bypassed early struggles through high spending and aggressive hiring. This development is positive for the sport because it likely introduces a midfield disruptor rather than a struggling backmarker. The regulation changes neutralize Red Bull's aero advantage and open up the field. A solid R26 could allow Bortoleto and Hülkenberg to challenge for podiums by April. The long-term challenge remains significant because corporate boards require results. Failure to deliver on this week's promise could restart rumors of a strategic review. However, the performance in Spain indicates Audi intends to compete at the front immediately. The R26 is running and the engine note is aggressive. Bahrain will reveal whether this translates to podiums or expensive failures. Subscribe now to follow F1 updates as the season begins.